Welcome, welcome. It's the cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live many a time. And we here ready to let the cat out the bag. Meow. Woo! You know what? Let me tell you guys something. Today's show is really going to be hot. So if I look like I got on my cat's gear today, I'm ready to let the cat out the bag. But you know what? I'm going to tell you guys, today's show is another bittersweet show. It's a real bittersweet show because we had an incident that took place right here in the schools where we literally had another individual that went in and shot and killed innocent people. And I'm going to tell you something. The reason why I say it's a bittersweet moment is because sometimes it takes a tragedy to wake us up and say, listen, enough is enough. We got to do something. It's because this could happen. It could be anyone. It could be anyone's child. So my heart goes out to the mothers, the family members, the fathers of those children. I've been praying. I got up this morning praying. I went to bed praying. So I'm literally praying for those children. Also, on the flip side of that, we're talking about a police commander here in Chicago that was shot and killed. I want to say it happened near the Thompson Center downtown.
At the Thompson Center. Right across from the Daily Center.
Right across from the Daily Center. Wow. Now tell me that's not something. So again, today's show is really amazing show. And when I say amazing, it's because we really need you guys' input, and we really want to hear from you guys to tell us, what do you think is a solution to what's going on? How could we be part of the solution to the problems that's already happening? So I tell you what, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and kick our show off like we always do. We got Mr. James J. Hustle in the building.
Yeah, buddy.
We got Miss Monique.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. So, James.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell you what's been going on in your world?
Everything been going on in my world. Everything. But I don't even want to talk about me. I got too many problems going on right now. I want to talk about what the hell is going on in America and across the world. But before we start that real quick, okay, the person wishes to remain anonymous. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. Get this out the way, get it over with. He got approved for a, $3,500 loan. $3,500 loan. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all know how all of that stuff go, but that's not the thing. Hold on. Okay, so let me get the camera to focus. The loan is with an approval of 98.25%.
98.25.
Do they do that at? So if you take out a $3,000 loan, you're gonna be paying back like $40,000. That's crazy. Have you ever seen something 98.25%?
Yep. Yeah.
And that's the name of the company right there.
That's crazy. Right, man, you know what? We need to put them on blast. So the moral of the story is, if you want a loan, call me.
No, if you want a loan, call
me. Don't call Tyrone. Call your girl. 98.5. You know, that's crazy.
98%? I thought 30% was high. 15% was high.
But let me tell you something. That is the day and time that we're in. People are desperate to just have a little bit, but the requirement is that you give up a lot. And so that's where we're at. I'm gonna tell you something. With our president talking about cutting off link and food stamps and Section 8 and all of this stuff. You know, I don't know if it's rumors or if it's real, but some folks gonna be receiving box lunches. Yeah, You know, when I say I don't know if it's real, because everything that's on the news, I don't always believe, because I just believe that, a lot of stuff is on the tell live vision.
Look, I'm sorry, but if it's real, I ain't never got food stamps or Section 8 anyway. So, it ain't bothering me. I feel sorry for y'all, but
You know what? It may not be bothering you directly, but indirectly, it is an attack, and it's going to affect us all.
All jokes aside, I think it's crazy, though.
Yeah.
I really think it's crazy. Now, if anything I was saying, I know a lot of people might disagree. If you really want to monitor what certain people are doing, just start drug testing. Because if we got a drug test for a job, if you work at McDonald's, you got to take a drug test. So if you're receiving free benefits, take a drug test.
What does a drug test have to do with that, though? What does it have to do with it?
I'm just saying, if they want to throw something out there which they want to do, then do that.
That's not going to stop
because anything. It's the same as a job. If you work a job and you're receiving money, you got to take a drug test in order to qualify for that job. So if you're receiving food stamps, or you receiving, because they put money on cars too, if you're receiving money, make them drug test.
The problem is they're saying that people are buying things that they should not buy. Steaks and lobsters and stuff like that.
Now that
you know what?
Like you could tell a person what they can and can't buy.
Right.
That's the problem.
You know what? Now let me tell you something.
They should not buy.
If you on Link, and if you decide you want to eat steak and lobsters, I don't think that it should be a problem with you eating steak and lobster if that's what you want to eat. If your Link card allow you to eat steak and lobster, that's what you eat. I think the problem is that if you get $500 a month on a Link card, but then you're gonna take that $500 a month and you're gonna sell $250 of it, then you really didn't need $500 because you can survive off of $250. Right. And you didn't need it in Link. You may have needed additional cash benefits, but you didn't need $500 in Link. Or if you take that Link card, and if you eating steak and lobster, but you got the kids eating Roman noodles, then I think that's where the problem is at. And, your boo shouldn't have lobster dinners.
First.
Right.
How a dope fiend ain't got enough. A dope fiend ain't got enough sense to even go down to apply for a Link card. So it's not them that's doing the most dirt. It's the people that's
got it. And they
it's not. It's these women out here doing a lot of crazy stuff with it. That's not on drugs. They the ones selling dinner plates at their kitchen with the Link.
Well, you know what? And again, it's not even an attack, because some people need those ends to be met. And I think that it is really sad that when you need the assistance, you can't get it because, and then, sometimes you need the assistance, but you can't say little simple stuff, like I'm married. Because if you say you married, then they're like, okay, well, where's this man's income? Well, see, there's not a slot on the application for me to say that I'm married, but he don't contribute to the household and bring in his money like he should. So I can't even tell you the whole truth because you don't even leave me a space to fill in the blank. So, I do understand that there are situations where people are really, really going to be affected by this. Yeah. But then I also have seen where people have abused the privileges, and now people are going to suffer as a result of.
Yep. All right, people. So again, if y'all just not tuning in, today the show is about why is the violence and racial division increasing across America. We also talking about food stamp, SNAP, whatever you want to call it, being cut off, and people are going to receive box foods instead of the card. We talking about all of this, so y'all can call in.
And most importantly, we're talking about the incident that happened in the schools. And I know that there are a lot of people with heavy hearts. So our conversation today is well-rounded, and your opinion is very much appreciated. To all of my Facebook listeners, y'all see that I have the phone away from me today because I wanted you guys to just kind of stand back and look at us from a whole different perspective. So if you're commenting, I can't see your comments, but I tell you what I want you to do. So I need you to dial in to our show today, and I need you to voice your opinion because it needs to be heard. Our number is 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. James J. Hustle.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to throw the ball right over in your court. And I don't even know if we're off track. I don't even know if we talked about how I got with Monique.
Same thing. The school shooting, the commander being shot, the same thing with our topics. Violence across America is increasing. And it's also racial division. Everything is going crazy.
Stuff that ties into the violence because people they're going to go crazy because they don't know how to survive without that stuff. So they're going to start doing extra stuff to people. They already doing the most.
And you know what? And let me say this. It's just an excuse.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
because I'm gonna tell you something. The carjackings is up on the rise.
Yep.
We're here in the Chicago area, there's more and more black on black crime. And I know that there's crime and other, different races of individuals, but I'm just speaking on what I know about. The black on black crime. And then we want to use as an excuse is that people are mad, they're scared, and that they're doing whatever they need to do by any means necessary. We're robbing from your brother and killing your brother, your sister, and your neighbor. That's not the solution. I think that more now than anything, this is a platform for you to become creative in how you produce income. It don't mean, oh my God, our Section 8 is getting ready to get cut off and our link is about to get cut off. Well, let me just ask you a real crazy question, but I really want a good answer. If you were on Section 8 getting government assistance and your rent was $8 a month, but your hustle was $8,000 a month, did you really need that government assistance to get by anyways? And especially when you had Ray, Pookie, and your best friend and everybody all living in the same household, and you guys could have pulled together and creatively got off of that crutch that was holding you back and created your own business because you guys got gifts, you got talents, you got all types of stuff in the household that you could have got off of that crutch and used that. Now, again, I'm not talking about the people who really, really need the assistance. There are some people who really, really need it.
We are talking about the ones who manipulate the system. Right. And again, like you said, crutch, it's a crutch. It don't matter if they rent $8 a month, they can be bringing in $20,000 a month. They still gonna stay at the place where they pay $8 a month. Right. For the simple fact that they using it to their benefit.
Driving a Range Rover, driving a Range.
Some people don't want to do better. They really don't. They comfortable where they at.
Yeah, right. Driving a Range with $500 hairdos, red bottoms, talking about some what old girl say. I don't want to choose. They ain't got to choose. Give me both pair. So, but you going to an $8 a month household, and you have to manipulate the system. All I'm saying is that use your gift, use your talent. You don't have to panic in this season. I believe that we all have what we need. It's already in our hand, and we're just being forced to use what we already have to get what we need. And killing, robbing, and stealing, and pointing the finger at the next man, that's not going to get us where we need to go. That's just my opinion.
These people enjoy killing. Yeah. And I really don't feel sorry for a lot of these folks out here as far as government benefits. And I'm talking about the ones that don't need it. We're not talking about the ones that truly do need it because they deserve it. We're talking about the ones that don't need it. I don't feel sorry for them because if you can get your ass up and go stand in a line for 17 hours for a pair of $400-500 Jordans, you can pay $400 or $500 on your goddamn rent. Why should you feel sorry for somebody that's living better than you? Especially me. Like, it ain't nowhere in the world. We up here, we bust our ass, we go to work every day. And we still struggling just to pay rent and can't even pay the rest of our bills. But you got people out here, like you said, living in the heart of the ghetto, living in a slum, paying $2-3 a month, but they driving $120,000 damn car. That ain't fair. I go to the grocery store, I got my cart half full, and my food bill is $500-600 that I got to pay out of my pocket. But then you got a chick behind you with her two ghetto ass cousins. They got 3 carts full of food that's piled up. Mm-hmm. And they pull out that link card and swipe it, and they go ahead on their iPhone. Hell, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little bit jealous. Hell.
And I wouldn't even say that you're jealous or and even envy.
No, it's just that tells the truth.
It's just as what's happening now is that we're being trumped in this season. And I told people this over 3-4 years ago, that this is what we could expect, because it's not even about who our current president is. It's about who our God is. And I'm talking about on a whole nother spiritual level. You cannot expect to keep on wasting and it not have a shift. You cannot expect to keep on living off the fat meat of the hog and not get down to some bone. And that's where we're at now, is that it's like, you will waste no more. You would use no more. You would not have do no more. Because even when I think about it, and let's not talk about people that's on the welfare, whatever the case may be. Let's just talk about the state of our America. Let's just talk about the state of how we live.
America's screwed up.
We got people right now that are starving to death, literally dying because they've not eaten. But then on the same token, we have other people that are throwing food out as we speak right now. How does that make sense? So if I'm here and I'm literally eating food, and to the point that not only am I overweight and obese, and I'm not saying anything about people that are overweight and obese. I'm just saying I am eating myself to the point that I have more than enough. I'm just greedy. But then my next door neighbor, I see the paramedics come and take them away with the white sheet covered over their face because they lived in their house and they starved to death. That's a problem. And we can no longer eat, and not necessarily food, but I'm just talking about period, to the point to where we're eating and eating greedily, being greedy. But the next man or woman is starving right next to us, and we think that we're not accountable for them. And I think that's where we have gotten to, that we are literally getting ready to have a shift that we're going to be responsible for helping one another. I think we got all we need. We just need to know how to disperse it. That's just how I think. Monique, James, go ahead.
I don't even know what to say on that.
Me either.
That's what's now. I really want to talk about why the violence in America is like this. Like, the school was shot up, 17 people dead. They said over 50 wounded. Why? What's the point? With the commander being killed, with other people getting killed on the streets of Chicago and across America. I was looking at a video last night. It was surveillance from a Mexican restaurant on 73rd and Pulaski, I think. And the two dudes go in there, two black dudes. Dude up a gun, he robbing the place. So after they done got all of the money out of the register, don't you know these niggas say, give me the change too. So the lady scooping the change up and he putting it in his hand, putting it in his pocket. Man, come on, people crazy. Hell, Walmart on North Avenue and Cicero last night. They had a damn shootout. Had a car chase. Who shoots up at Walmart with all this surveillance going on?
It's because here is the thing. And it goes back to greed. It goes back to thinking that your problem is just your problem, and what goes on in your house is just goes on in your house. You have to be mindful of what's going on around you. You have to be mindful of other people that are crying out, asking for help, and you're just walking by like that's not any of my business. A prime example, the shooting yesterday. My heart goes out to those parents. My heart goes out to any parent that has to face something like this, current or even in the past. But that individual, he had Instagram photos of him with guns. People that know him said, yeah, it was something strange about him. This guy was even reported saying that he even mentioned that he would do something like that, and it fit his character.
But why wouldn't they take that seriously? See, that's what pisses me off. Every time,
because he's white. That's just it. Because he's white.
No, by him being white, they're gonna say it was a mental condition and he needs help. But if he was black, then he'd just be a thug and an animal. And y'all know I don't pull a race card, but that's the truth. But what I don't understand, how come every time something happens, whether it's a black man, white man, whatever, when it's a major national tragedy, the first thing they say is, oh, well, this person was on our radar. Yeah, he was being investigated by the FBI and, Homeland Security. Yeah, we let him buy more guns and we let him do this and we let him do that. But why y'all didn't stop him from killing? Every time something happened, they always talk about how he was on the radar, how people was reporting him, how family was reporting him, but nobody went to talk to this person. Nobody took this person into custody. Nobody took this person seriously until he killed everybody else.
Who can't take
That's
him into
crazy.
custody?
And then-
He was 19 years old. It's like,
But here's the problem. But you can't. But listen at this. But now people want to come out and say something. Now people want to come out and be like, oh, it was a problem. Where was his neighbors at? Where were the people that saw that it was a problem before? And I'm not pointing a finger on anybody. This is just a wake-up call, people, and say that right now we have a mandate to step up.
When people do step up, people ignore you anyway. They ignore you. You know how many times I had to get involved privately with something that I seen that ain't right and nobody did nothing. So it's almost like you gotta die to get help.
I want to speak on that. Catch out show 1 second. The other night, after I finished working, young guy stay on my block. The girl hollering out the window, dude hollering up to the window. She's like, you ain't finna be beating on me no more. Just let me in. I ain't finna touch you. I just want my stuff. So, yeah, I'm being nosy. So I'm getting out the car, whatever, and I'm looking because they was loud as hell. So the girl come down, that dude beating her ass. So I don't get involved in nobody's business, but I go over there like, bro, what you doing, man? Stop. Man, mind your business. So I pull the man back, and she started trying to fight me, leave him alone. And I'm like, hold on. This man was just about to stump your goddamn ears together, and I stopped him, and now you want to fight me. You know what? Carry on, bro. I hope he snatched the soul out your ass.
But you know what? That's the sad part about it. Caller, go ahead, state your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yo, man, this is Roosevelt calling from the south side of Chicago.
Hey, Roosevelt, go ahead, sir. Thanks for calling in.
And please for something, James, love you to death, man. And love you too, Vera, and of course Monique, you know, my fellow former member. But it's I heard you all talking about food stamps or something this morning, or whatever. But it just seems like, you know, maybe I can't come up with the words and everything to say it. You know, and maybe it's just the way that James talks or whatever. But it comes off to me as something as being like unkind and unloving to lump everybody who, you know, puts food or who gets food stamps, you know, in one category. Because one thing about it is, and I can only make this personal as for me, that, you know, I am not like the stereotypical person who, you know, you all could be talking about. You know, I'm a person who legitimately needs this because I am a disabled person. And the thing is, I mean, whenever they start making these cuts, because I haven't heard anything about this, and Vera, later on, you're going to have to send me something to where I can find more information about this, because this is the first I'm hearing of it, which, you know, makes me actually believe that sometimes, you know, social media and these shows are a good thing because it informs us, you know, to what we don't know. I didn't know anything about, you know, them talking about like possibly cutting food stamps and providing box food and all of this other kind of stuff. But I'm a disabled kind of a person, and not all of us are doing that kind of a thing. But it just seems like whenever people talk about it and, you know, talk about a woman and, you know, who could be like, as you know, using his words, a woman or something, and her 2 or 3 ghetto ass children and that kind of thing. I think that kind of thing, it puts all of us in like one category. And it sounds, you know, for people to say this kind of thing or even think this kind of a thing, it comes off as being very unkind and very unloving, because a whole lot of us, we are not like this. And the thing is, when they start making these sweeping cuts, it hurts the good people as well as the bad. And I think that you have more good people who depend on some of these things, whether it's Section 8, whether it's food stamps or whatever it is, whether you have bad people. I mean, just like in the world, you probably have more good people possibly than you have bad people. And I just don't think that you should go and start talking about going around cutting government programs and all of this other kind of stuff, you know, just because it's some people who take advantage of the system. And I just say sometimes, so what if they're taking advantage of the system? We just fought a war some years ago in Afghanistan and Iraq. And can anybody tell me, if any of you all know, how much that war cost the United States that they were wasting money on all over a lie because somebody decided to try to say Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction? In case you don't know how much that war costed, I'm here to tell you that war cost the United States $200,000 a minute. But yet, you don't want to help to take care of your own citizens, but yet this country can go and put nose in every single else's business somewhere all the way halfway across the world, but yet people are going to complain and bitch, excuse me for saying so, about other people who, are on government assistance or on cash or on food stamps, on SNAP benefits, and on Section 8 and government housing. The United States, wherever money comes in, it should only go to help our citizens, and not our benefits should not be used, and tax money should not be used to go and help foreign entities all around the world who are doing nothing but terrorizing and oppressing the world like it was. $200,000 a minute for a war, but yet they complain about people taking advantage of the system.
Now,
God forbid.
Now, let me say this, because guess what? You've said exactly what I am saying, is that you could not, even on a higher level, we've taken advantage of people. We've taken advantage of our position. Whatever your position is, you can no longer keep taking advantage of your position while the next man died on your watch. The next person is hungry. The next person is starving. We're literally allowing people to die on our watch. And then we're looking at, oh, it's the government. Oh, it's the this, it's the that.
Government, we breaking up.
We're looking at other people, but at the end of the day, you have to look within, because there is a higher power that supersedes all of this madness. And you literally have to position yourself to tap into your higher power by any means necessary, because if we don't, we will get trumped in this season. And I'm not talking about Trump, the man. I'm talking about Trump on a higher level, because that's where we're operating now, on a higher level. You got to see things for what's really taking place, and then do whatever you can, what Roosevelt can, do what Vera can, do what James can, do what Monique can, do what you can, do what we can as a people to be a part of the solution. That's the only thing we can do, because we're all living in a world right now not really knowing what's going on. And even when you think you know what's going on, you don't know what's going on.
Pretty much. Now, I want to respond to Roosevelt. I think I got quite a lot to say about that. Roosevelt, I'm sorry if I come off as a cold-hearted person, but the truth of the matter is you heard part of what I said, but you didn't listen to all of what I said. We all stated the same thing. But the people that we are talking about as far as government benefits, we are talking about the ones that actually need it, should have it, and receive it. But the ones that don't need it are the ones that are receiving it and taking, taking the system
for granted, manipulating the system.
Manipulating the system, yeah. So we're not talking about people like you that actually need it. I think if you're a disabled person,
but if they make these cuts, it will affect me.
Well, let me say this. Let me just back. Even when I say manipulating the system, because we have to understand that the system has already been manipulated. So we are already oppressed. We're already in a box. So sometimes in order for you to survive, you may have, because again, they don't have the lines for you to tell the whole story. They ask you a cut and dry question, but then when you answer that cut and dry question, you don't qualify because you answered the question this way or that way. So if I ask you, well, are you married? And you say yes, and then I say, well, provide me the income for your husband. Well, I can't provide you his income because we don't discuss his income. I'm married to him, but I'm not technically with him in a relationship like that where I can provide to you the information that you need. So then now that man or woman cannot get their assistance because you failed to answer the questions correctly. So they don't leave a box for that. I'm not speaking on those people. I'm just speaking on, guess what? Even if the assistance is taken from us, we still will rise. Do not panic. Do not throw the towel in, because I am convinced that we've given enough away, that we threw enough away, that we have all that we need. It's just that your neighbors, your sisters and your brothers, that we all got to learn how to come together. Because if we don't, we will have people robbing, killing, doing crazy stuff in the schools, getting to the point to where they're so pressured that a teenager can come into the school and shoot up a school. That's pressure. That's things that's been overlooked.
Yeah, but those are two different issues.
Well, it may be two different issues, but it's all operating in the same realm. It's all operating. We say it's different, but what we don't realize is that everything is operating under the oneness. Everything is operating. This is linked to this. That's linked to that. That's linked to that.
Everything is all about the rich people staying rich.
It's not going to work anyway. Number one, all this stuff that's going on, it is the government's fault because they put these people on these things, but they never conditioned them to do better. They threw it at them. Here you go. That's it, and that's all. Why? Maybe they should not have been getting so much money to live in some of these places. They living in $2,000 apartments, but you ain't got no job. But you're not teaching these people how to go out there and do what they got to do.
Yep.
You just let them stay there. It should have been a cutoff limit. Here, you get this for 5 years. If you ain't got your shit
like
together,
unemployment.
That's on you.
When your unemployment run out, that's on you.
That.
But to finish responding back to Roosevelt, we weren't attacking all people. And as far as the government, I do agree with you. But like, I have a lot of issues with the government. I feel as though if you went and fought for this country, there is no reason that a person that went and put their life on the line to protect us should even be homeless when they come back. There shouldn't be any homeless Americans at all. America should not be broke. It's like we help and we put other people in places before we put our own people in place. You got a lot of these Arabics or these foreign people coming over here and they giving them $10,000, $15,000 to start with. Well, our $10,000 or $15,000 at, and we here. Why do somebody else? Why can they come from another country, open up a business on our block and they succeed? But meanwhile, we struggling and we helping them succeed. Why can't America help America before we start helping anybody else? Why are we in other countries fighting wars that has nothing to do with us? Why are we giving billions and billions of dollars to other countries that hate our blood? But America full of shit, point blank, period.
And at the end of the day, as a result of people are in I want to say traumatic situations. They got a whole lot of stress. They're dealing with things. People are angry. They're acting out. And we're seeing it on a younger and younger platform. So even if for those people that's trying to say, what does that have to do with anything that's happening now? What does that have to do with the police commander that was killed? In order to kill, hurt people. Mm-hmm. And we need to get to the surface. Why you mad? Why you hurt? What's going on with you? I see something ain't right. And rather than acting after the fact, let's help people and act before the fact. Let's not keep on going in our houses, acting like it's not our business until it becomes our business. And then once it becomes our business, we want everybody to come out their house. We need everybody to let that cat out the bag. Well, guess what? The cat been out the bag, but it wasn't out the bag for you. And now that it's happened to you, you want everybody to let the cat out the bag. Well, guess what? Let's do something about it now. Roosevelt, thank you for calling. We appreciate you, sir. Thanks for tuning in. But our phone lines is open. And I know that there are a lot of people listening. You got your opinion. Well, guess what? Call in and then voice your opinion. Our line should be jumping off of the hook because we're not talking about anything that's just affecting us. We're talking about something that's affecting you too. We are us. This is us.
It affects everybody.
It's affecting everybody.
Call in, y'all. 708-223-8953. Again, 708-223-8953. And you want to know why I'm mad? I'm mad because when you actually get off your butt and you try to help people and stand up for people, you looked at as the enemy. You looked at as the snitch. Or I take up for black people all the time. All the time. I take up for a white man, then all of a sudden my own people want to turn against me saying I'm Uncle Tom, this and that. That's not fair because I see a person as a person. I see right and I see wrong. It don't matter. And it just pisses me off that being a young black man, I got to get death threats from young black men because I don't want you to lose your goddamn life or I don't want you to take somebody else's life. I talk about that all the time, but it makes me mad. It pisses me off for the simple fact that we act like we don't give a fuck about our own people.
A fool. Not a fool.
Okay, we act like we don't give a damn. I say we don't give a damn about our own people. Nobody ever wants to care about nothing or stand up for nothing or say nothing until it happens to you. Nobody cares about what's going on until it happens to you. Just like that commander. It don't matter if he was black or white. Point is that man had a life. Yep. Now people talking about, man, forget him. He should have died anyway. What if it was your relative?
Right.
What if it was yours? I'm tired of people, man. Humans are fucked up, screwed up. This world need to be balled up and restarted.
Wake up is all I can say. I'm not pulling the race card because when I think about race, I just decided, I'm awakened. That's my race.
Racism too.
When I think about religion, my religion is awakened. I'm just woke. When I think about all this stuff that does not matter, it's like get off of that. I've had some of my best help from people that didn't look like me. I've had some of my greatest support from people who did not look like me. So I don't care nothing about race anymore. Forget that. Now, does that take away from me being the color that I am? It absolutely does not. But I'm not going to go out here and say I'm ready to put my head on the line for everybody that look like me. No, I am not. But what I will do is I will stand for those who have a heart like me. I will stand for those who have a determination like me. I will stand for those who are awakened and understand that we're not battling with flesh and blood. This is a higher battle, and I'm not getting ready to get into it with people about petty things that's going to keep us in position to be a part of the problem and not the solution. I ain't got time for that.
Some of these people, they would like help. The ones that's out here doing these things, robbing and killing people for money. The reason why they're not going, because every time people ask for help now, the first thing what we do, we put a goddamn camera in their fucking face, and try to record that we're helping them. Nobody want nobody doing it. You're going to help me, get it off camera.
Yep.
Get it off camera. Don't do that to me. And don't tell my business that I needed your help to your sister and this person down the street. So that's why we rather take it into our own hands and do dirt.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to help somebody, do it from your heart. Why you got to do everything like, okay, y'all feed homeless people. I do stuff for homeless people, but not once have you ever seen me record that. I think I recorded one time because the alderman over there told me, well, why don't you do this? And that was on Damon. The man was sleeping under the bridge. Everything that you do, you don't have to look for like a spotlight.
Recognition.
Like what I'm doing. I gave him $1. I gave him a sandwich. Just do it.
Don't do that.
And let me say this. Let me just say this.
It's embarrassing.
Because the only way that we know that stuff is going on is because people can see. Like now, we are in media. We put our cameras on. I tell people all the time, I do more off camera than I do on camera. So, but it's about awareness. It's about letting people see that, guess what? If I could do what I'm doing, you can too. So again, you cannot be glorified in the likes of people, because if you glorify yourself in the likes of people, that's where you're going to get trumped at, because only what you do for God is going to count and last anyway. It is not about how many people like what you do or how many people see what you do. But sometimes you got to put stuff on camera.
No, not that.
When I say sometimes you got to put stuff on.
No, you don't do that.
When I say sometimes you put stuff on camera, it's because guess what? Now you know. If you didn't know what was going on, now you know. And pride comes before destruction. Those same people, because we got a lot of garbage that's on camera. When I think about these reality shows that's on camera, we have become so consumed with watching the live vision for garbage that when we put real stuff on the camera, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, it ain't no need for that. But the same people that say that there's no need for exposing what's really going on, it's a brother sleeping under the bridge, but we got 500 houses boarded up. So I'm gonna put this brother that's sleeping under the bridge, not because I need y'all to see that I see somebody sleeping under the bridge, but I need you to see, well, how come we can't get these houses open and help this brother get from under the bridge? Because guess what? I'm not watching Love and Hip Hop. I can give a care less what's going on this reality show and that reality show. I can give a mess less what this star done did, or who shot JR, or who Beyonce sleeping with, and how many red bottoms Cardi B got, and who this. I can care less about that. What I'm concerned about is how can I help my brother or my sister that need my help, and we have a responsibility to do something, because people don't see it or they don't know it, because they too busy.
Walk down the street every day and see the same stuff.
So those people walk down the street,
see the same stuff. Now, we don't need nobody to make.
Now let me just say this: those people walk down the street every day. They see the same stuff and they do nothing. So them are not even the people who I talk to. I'm not even concerned about you, because you're the same person that stepped over the homeless person. You're the same person that walked down the street and seen it every day. And so with that being said, disregard what it is that I do, because you can't speak for me anyway. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who see what I see. Do you see what I see? Them the people who I'm talking to.
See, but that's the problem. Everybody want to talk about us and say, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And then it's like with the camera, what pisses me off, and I'm on the camera all the damn time. I'm on the camera all the time, but it's just certain things you don't record, certain things you don't do. I was looking at a video the other night. The man was in a they had a car crash, him and a young girl. A lady sitting there, she recorded. Oh my God, his head is split open. Someone called the police.
You got to be
Why you don't call the damn police? You could have called the police. You could administer some type of aid, and you could have talked about the situation that happened after somebody got there to help them. Stop talking about what does everybody else do. Start talking about what you gonna do.
That's
all people see is the negative. People don't care about nothing until it happens to them.
And then people who do nothing, they get mad because it's the simple stuff that you do that can make a big difference in another person's life. And then, you trying to get likes. If I was going to get paid off of your likes, I would still be broke, because a broke like ain't going to do you no good. A negative like ain't going to do you no good. But we have a responsibility. There are some things, James, you out there on the battlefield all the time. And Monique, I've seen you not that often, but you record what you want to record. But here's the thing. When you out there and anything that you record, you got somebody that's going to look at you and say, oh, you just doing that. See, you don't even know me. But here's the thing. If you see it, don't worry about me. What you getting ready to do? Are you watching this because you concerned about what I'm doing? Or are you willing to put yourself out there and do anything?
They're not willing to do nothing. They willing to watch you just to see what you're doing. Like a chick told me the other night, got into it over a misunderstanding on Facebook. Well, I don't look at none of your posts or your videos anyway. I just follow you so I can be one more person to make you relevant. I don't care what you do. That goes to show you how people nosy. If you don't care what I do,
she makes you relevant?
Yeah. You ain't making me relevant, because ain't none of this shit, none of these followers, nobody paying my damn bills. None of it. We do this because we do this to inform people. My Facebook is mine. Whether it's something serious, I done gave people my entire life. Ups, downs, goods, bad, everything. But for you to say, oh, I watch everything you do, but I don't care about none of it, and I don't like none of it because I don't agree with none of it. So why are you here? People just want to be nosy.
The word says that I will make your enemies your footstool. So some folks watch you because they're watching from envy, they're watching from hate, they're watching from negativity, and by default, they have become your footstool. And I've made myself a sacrifice to say that if I have to educate my enemies, and if I have to stand on the necks and the backs of my footstools in order to reach a higher self, a higher purpose in life, that's what I'm going to do. Because guess what? We all have a purpose. We all have something that we were born to do. How dare you live a life worrying about the people who don't like you, who think they make you relevant by watching you? No, that's the wrong answer. Wrong answer. You're actually watching me for one or two reasons. Either you're watching me because you like what I'm saying, or because you are a student and you need to see what I'm saying in order for you to grow. I am officially your teacher. One of the two. You're either liking and following an individual because you like them, or because they have been assigned to coach you through this season. I don't care how you want to look at it.
I'll tell you what it is. People want to see you do good, but don't nobody want to see you doing better than them. So when they think you're doing better than them, that's when the hate starts. That's when the resentment starts. I can't tell you how many times people have inboxed me and asked me for money, or when my daughter wants to go to a private school and you in the community, I think that you should help her. I don't know your daughter. I'm trying to help my own daughter. Well, you making all of this money? I ain't made a goddamn dime. My 11, 12 years recording stuff, talking about my life, whatever. I ain't made a dime off none of this. See, people, they all they do is watch, but they don't want to help. But then they put it on you and ask you, what do you do? But they don't do nothing. Or like we talking about the stuff going on in America now and how can we change it? Somebody gonna sit here and watch this, misunderstand everything that we say and say, well, what y'all doing? What y'all doing to stop the violence? What y'all doing to change it?
You don't know what people do because in all fairness, we gotta, everybody not that way. We don't know what people doing because don't nobody know what I do. I do something every day, all day.
All the time.
Nobody know that because I don't put it out there like that.
Well, somebody know it.
People know what I want them to know.
We don't really know what everybody's really doing.
No, and even when you put a little bit out, because when you put a little bit out, you got people that feel like they know a lot about you by the little bit that you put out. I tell people, if you really want to know me is to know me off camera.
Right.
Because if you like me a little bit on camera, you will love me off. You either gonna love me or you're gonna hate me. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because if you love, if you're genuine, and if you don't mind being naked and not ashamed, you're going to love me. But if you are a lie, if you negative, if you thrive off of evil, negativity, hurt, lustfulness, disgust, I am going to make you sick. It's just
People
that simple. And if you a lie, you ain't gonna like me because I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be genuine. I'm gonna operate in my godliness because that's all I have. I love genuinely. I don't just put on a show for no fake book or nobody else's book. I am who I am on and off camera. As a matter of fact, I do more off camera than I do on camera.
But you know
that's
what
the
Facebook
realness.
is, like you said. Facebook is entertainment.
If that's right.
I do so much stuff off of Facebook to actually help people or benefit people because I don't put people, I put stuff out there that I want you to know. So by looking at Facebook, you don't know me. You know what I'm allowing you to know. So when I'm doing other stuff for people, I don't go out there recording it. I don't go bragging on it because God told me not to. I'm not where I want to be in life. I'm damn near flat broke. But if I got $10 in my pocket, if I see somebody sleeping under a bridge and I know they actually homeless, if I got some gas in my car, I'll get them the whole $10. But I ain't got to record that and put that on camera because it's
I'm not giving them my whole damn $10. I may give them $2.50 because I'm gonna have to have me something to eat myself. No, just
well, if you got food, well, you do what you do. I do what I do. But my whole point is this: if you're gonna do something for somebody, you do it from your heart. Facebook is entertainment. You got the real world off of Facebook. On Facebook, I'm Jay Hustle. Outside of Facebook, I'm James. You don't have to show everything you do. Like that's like, you know what? Yeah, me and my girl, we finna make love. That's the bed right there. She got her legs spread. I'm finna get in.
I want to correct that.
Right
outside of Facebook, you crazy as hell.
Right.
No, on Facebook, I'm crazy as hell.
No.
Outside of Facebook, I'm just me.
Crazy. As all I do.
Well,
now real.
No check? I need
real.
It. Where my government check at?
Now you real.
Where my food stamps at? I'm fat. I want food. Man,
and you know what? And no, we don't. Because we're in a season where you're the head. You're not even the tail anymore. We are above. We're not beneath anymore. And we need to just change our way of thinking and just understand that, again, my heart, and I literally got up this morning crying. I went to bed upset because I'm like, oh my God, where was the ball dropped again? Who failed those children? Who failed that gunman? How did it happen? What can we do as a result of so that situations like this, we could diffuse them even the more? But sometimes it takes something like this to shake and wake people up and say, guess what? If it happened to them, it can happen to you. So what are you going to do differently?
But people haven't woke up. They haven't. But what they don't realize is just like it happened in Florida, it could have happened here. Could have been my daughter or my son. Could have been your daughter or your son. And another thing they don't talk about on the news, and I bet y'all didn't know this, and look it up for yourself. Since January the 1st, 2018, it has been 18 school shootings across America.
Yep, 18.
18. Look it up. Don't believe nothing I say. Believe it when you see it for yourself. Believe it when you read it from yourself from an authenticated source.
Since how long?
Since January the 1st. So imagine what happened before then. We're talking about since the 1st of January of 2018 until today right now.
Most of them happened in Texas. Most of them happened in the state of Texas. That's where both of them happened at. They was all across,
but they was all over.
But it was more there than any other state.
But the first thing they talk about is gun laws. It's not gun laws. I got a knife in my pocket. You don't see me stabbing y'all. I got plenty of guns. You don't see me out here shooting people up. It ain't the gun laws.
Schools need some positive people in the school. They need some prayer warriors. They need some holy oil.
Oh, you get suspended if you talk about God in
they
school.
need to be anointed, because I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't what I heard is what I know. You got some wicked teachers in these classrooms that these kids are tired of being bothered with. Some of these teachers in these classrooms, their whole mindset is messed up. They don't care about these kids. All they care about is getting a check. You got some kids that have come from drama all through that, and they act out in that school, and it's like people are not making reports. You got some neighbors that see this mess that's going on. You hear all of the craziness that's going on, and you let your window down and just put your ear to listen, but you do nothing.
The reason why they ain't say nothing about the
teachers.
shootings is because they was white. They were white. Let's just keep it real. They were white schools. Had it been us, we'll know everything that's going on every second.
Well, it was a
white
black
people do stuff, they
superintendent
don't
at
say
this
nothing.
school. Yes, I saw a black superintendent, right?
But the kids are all white. Mostly they white. It's always them.
My only concern is
I'm not trying to be funny. It is
happening?
always them.
And we can't blame the teachers. Honestly, it starts at home. Because if you don't see what your child doing at home, you don't get no signs. It starts at home.
I don't even know.
It really does. Like, it's so much happening. Like, everybody want to blame stuff. Like, for instance, like we was just talking about the teachers. I think teachers deserve a raise. Because if I was a teacher, I can honestly tell you, I wouldn't make it a week. I've been to mess somebody's kid up.
Yep.
Real teachers.
Real teachers. But it's a lot of real good teachers that come into these schools. They have a lot of ambition and they thrive to make these young people better. But when these young people are coming from households that are screwed up, or they good in the house and they acting up outside, you cannot deal with that stress every day. You can't tell me that you are going to classroom with 30 students and they keep disrespecting you, cursing you, throwing stuff at you, fighting you. Like it's a video, the girl hit the teacher. Teacher beat her ass back. You throw a book at me, I'm gonna beat your ass. Then the parent, well, you shouldn't have touched my child. You should have taught your child, because if your child touched me, I'm gonna whoop your child's ass.
And
Don't
if they
send your
touch my
to
child, I'm gonna whoop your child. But let me say this here. There are some good teachers, and these real good teachers, they got a heart to teach. They are being attacked right now in this season. Because when they take 1 foot to try and move it forward, there are some higher authorities that saying, no, you can't do this. You can't do that. Because I am convinced that it's a higher dollar amount on the dysfunction than everybody working together in harmony and doing things the right way. So my heart is going out to the teachers that are really, really knowing what it takes to calm our schools down, to diffuse these situations. They know, but their voices are not being heard. They cannot speak out. And when they do speak out, it's like everything that they're saying is going on deaf ear. But I know they're out there.
We need to bring back our old school ways, our old school morals. We need to bring it back when teachers could actually discipline a child.
Yeah.
It's a difference between ass whooping and child abuse. I tell people, if your child old enough, put a belt to their ass. If your child is big enough, my size, if you got a 14-year-old, my 14-year-old is my size. I'm 6'5". This nigga is damn near my size.
No,
it ain't no more belt. I'm gonna put these hands on your ass.
Nope, you're not whooping mine.
But if you whoop your child, or if you discipline your child, then law enforcement want to come lock you up. But if you don't discipline your child, and your child go out here in these streets and they doing all type of stupid stuff, law enforcement blame you. So what can you do? What the hell can you do?
I disagree. My kid ain't going to school, and ain't no teacher gonna whoop my child's ass.
So if your kid go to school and they doing a lot of stupid shit, you telling me if the teacher put their hands, okay, your kids know better.
And the teacher better call me.
Listen to what you said. Your kids know better. But if, let's say, your kid went and put their hands on the teacher, and that teacher put their hands back on your child, that's a problem?
Yeah, that's a problem. Because you know what?
If I was your kid teacher, and
but
your
no. Let me tell you what
I'm
the problem
beat
is.
The shit out your kid.
Let me tell you the problem is that if you grown enough to hit, you grown enough to get your ass hit back.
My mama used to get my ass whooped. She gave teachers permission.
And the problem is that these teachers cannot defend themselves amongst these children. So if my kids is crazy enough to ball up their fist and go to battle with a teacher, then it is what it is. However, I am not getting ready to allow some teacher to be the guardian of my child during that time you in school. I can handle that. Give me a call.
Well, you need to homeschool your child. Your child
You're
put
not
their
gonna
hands
whoop
on
mine.
you. I'm gonna slap their goddamn
You better
hands
not.
together.
You better not whoop mine when you can't take care of your
you know
own.
what? I tell you like this: if I'm a teacher and you send your kid to school and your kid keep doing destructive shit and they put their hands on you, I'm whooping your child's ass.
If a child is destructive and you got too many reports of a child being destructive, that child shouldn't be in the classroom environment with other kids that are not anyways. A teacher shouldn't have to come to school and discipline nobody else's child.
You absolutely
right. A teacher should be able to go to home and discipline their own child. It is not a teacher's responsibility to whoop my child's behind. If you put your hand on mine, the problem is bigger than the teacher disciplining my child.
Okay, that's why I said it starts at home, and every parent can say
where it's gonna end.
Mine was raised right, but if my son, if he go out here and he do something he ain't got no business and he catch them consequences of it, then I'm gonna commend that person. Because I used to get my ass whooped outside if we was doing something we ain't had no business. That person bought us to our parents, and our parents thanked that person and whooped our ass again.
That's right.
The problem is these kids are out of control. That's why they out here killing. That's why they out here doing dumb shit. They gang banging, they raping, they murdering. I don't care what nobody say, and I love you, Vera, but we gonna agree to disagree right here. Yeah, ain't nobody finna send their child to no school and put their hands on me and think I ain't gonna put mine back on. I'm gonna whoop their ass, and if you come and it's a problem, if you get on me instead of your child, I'm gonna whoop your ass too. I lost my job already.
I ain't say that. I ain't say that. And you ain't gonna whoop my ass in that school because I'm not
gonna
come. Let me just say this.
We just gonna be two fighting motherfuckers.
But let me just say this.
Why you ain't put your hand on your own child?
I'm not saying that. Hold on, Carla. We can get to you. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that a teacher's job should not be going to school whooping your child.
You're right, but what is a child's job? What is a child's job?
To go to school and learn.
My mama used to tell me, you go to school, you are there to be seen and not heard until you're ready to be heard. You there to learn and get an education.
And you shut up.
That's what you there to do.
Caller, thanks for calling in. You caught us in the midst of it going on. State your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hi, how y'all doing? This is Robert from Denver, Colorado.
Hey, Denver, Colorado. Go ahead with your comment, please.
Yeah, I'm commenting on what y'all said about back in the how teachers can discipline students and all that. When I was going to school back in Chicago, I used to go to school on the west side. You probably heard this middle school called Whiteford High School.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went there and all that, then we used to have a 5th grade teacher, right? And what he did is he had like a stacks of rules and all that. And it's like if we act up in class and all that, and he like he'll like spank you on the hand and all that, then and he'll call your parents, you get another whooping and all that. Those like the good old days back in when teachers actually did discipline their students and all that, you know, because it seemed like back then it wasn't that much like the mass killing, the school shootings and all that.
Right. I totally understand what you're saying. As a matter of fact, I agree. I grew up in that era. I grew up where we had the Board of Education. I grew up, matter of fact, Mr. Bell, Jesse Bell, with the Board of Education, or Drake. Now that was Drake. Would tear our butts up if you came in that classroom acting stupid. But that's back in the day when we had real teachers. But see, now there are some teachers that when I interact with these teachers, I'm like, if you put your hand on my child, I'm going to try my damnedest to choke the living life out of you. Because you can't be a teacher one day and then you twerking and you a pole pervert. You ain't even got your own children in order, but you think that you're going to come and whoop my child on her birth, you old pervert. You a whole, you see, don't make me go there. Because some of these teachers of today, they are not the same as teachers of yesterday. And so I think that it starts in the household. And I'm not going to send my child anywhere to where someone else has to discipline my child, because I'm going to discipline my child at home. And by the time they get to you, you're going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that child come from a well-disciplined house. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but my track record speaks for itself. And I guarantee anybody to check my track record. All my children.
I teach my kids
every last one of them.
But I ain't got nothing to do when they go to school and act their ass, because they gonna do one thing at home. But kids are kids, and when they around other kids, they try stuff.
They may try it, but what I'm telling you is that minds know two things. Is that you're going to school to learn. And by any means necessary, you better get your education. You ain't going to that school to act no fool, because I'm just a phone call away. And the biggest fool you ever seen will show up to that classroom. I'm not scared of your teacher. I'm not scared of the principal. I'm not scared of anybody, because there is nobody on the face of this earth that love you more than me. And I'm going to make sure you get yours by any means necessary. All of my children, all of them, and I got 5 of them from 32 to 7, straight A students. And they didn't become straight A students now. When they were older, they started in preschool. Straight A students. You grab any one of those teachers out of 5 children, and they would tell you, I had her kids in my classroom. The mother was always able to be reached. Her children were always either super honor roll or on the president's list. They were always well behaved children. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't act up. I'm not saying that they won't talk back. But for the most part, you knew they had some home training. They was not the ones that was getting ready to go to school and start no fight with no whole grown teacher. They was not the one that was getting ready to go to school and start no riots with nobody else's kid, because their biggest riot was already on roll call.
I'm pretty
and
sure
that was their mama
teach their kids,
and my mama.
Teach their kids what they supposed to teach them, but kids are stupid.
And they daddy.
And I tell mans anyway. I let my kids know when you go to the school, the teacher say something, I'm going with the teacher, because who the hell are you to this teacher? They got their education. They here doing the job for you.
I'm not rolling with your teacher.
That teacher don't care about you.
Thanks for calling, caller. We appreciate you.
You a kid.
They make the teachers not care.
Right. You a kid.
Some teachers just don't care because they don't have a heart to care anyway. They just got the job. So that's just another subject.
I've never
Thanks for calling the Cats Out Show.
I don't know.
Go ahead, state your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Melvin. I'm calling out of Normal, Illinois. Shouts out to y'all, Jay Hustle, of course. You know, I follow him on YouTube and Facebook. The thing of it is, I was commenting, Jay Hustle's Facebook went down. What I want to say is, that's what we're missing. Back in the day when I grown up, I grew up in the hood on R10 and Pulaski. The hood was the village, and the parents grew up in the home. But a lot of things have changed where they're saying, well, there's so many laws out there where kids can't be disciplined from the parents, anything like that, or you go to jail. I can't do nothing like that in my home.
Shut it down.
Yeah. You know, and the thing of it is, it's really missing is that they say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's a lot of things taken out of schools that needs to be put in. People don't even go by Black history no more. What happened to writing book reports when, like, second grade, we used to write book reports, had to learn all that. We lost all the views of what's really going on. All these kids out here watching music videos and all that. That's not really showing nothing, because if something was to happen right now, BET would be showing all those music videos instead of what's going on in the world. People have gotten lost the fact of reading books and everything like that. A lot of things have changed in the world to where, like, it doesn't make any sense. And I have 2 kids of my own, you know, so I try to teach them the right way, where they don't look at books. What they're into now is like picking up a book, reading everything like that. Not a lot of technology with the tablets and everything. Everything's gone so technical. People don't even read books no more. It's very rare you see that nowadays with children.
You know, children get in trouble for writing in cursive. Yeah. Remember that was something that we had to learn.
Oh, yeah, we had to learn about cursive handwriting. If you notice, that's not known in schools no more. Cursive handwriting is not around no more. And where we used to say the Pledge of Allegiance, we had God in that. They took God out of that. There's so many things that's messed up where they're censoring everything. They don't want people to know the truth. They don't want to know about Black history. If you don't even hear nothing about it no more, you very rarely hear it. Like, it's a person on Facebook. Her name is JoJo Perkins. She's getting controversy now for the stuff that was invented. And now she has a controversial video out there talking about that. So it's a lot of things out there that's missing.
And I want to say this again to those people who do not understand what I am saying. I don't have a problem with teachers. As a matter of fact, I've made the teachers my best friend because I trust them when I'm sending my children to school to have an understanding that I'm sending my children to school. And as a parent, I'm going to do my part to teach them how they should conduct themselves when they are in your presence. I'm going to do my part as a parent to make sure that homework assignments are done. I'm going to do my part as a parent to make sure that I have an open line of communication with you so that at any given moment, because I am trusting you to watch my child, that at any given moment you see something that ain't right, you can call me. I'm just a phone call away. I am on speed dial. I will disrupt anything I got going on so that I can communicate with you, teacher. But I'm also saying to my child, by any means necessary, I am your mother. I owe you everything that I can possibly give you to make sure that you are safe when you leave my presence. If it's anything that don't feel right, it don't look right, if you're not being, handled right, if you see anything that's not right, if it is a student in your classroom that make you feel uncomfortable, if it's a teacher that seems kind of weird, or if it's anything that's going on, you do not have to shut up. You do not have to speak when spoken to. You let me know, because guess what? No soon as you tell me that you feel a certain way, that you see something, I'm Johnny on the spot. And I'm going to listen to you. I'm not going to say the teacher is always right. I want to hear what you got to say, because you got a voice. What you say matter. How you feel matter. That's what I'm going to do. And that's and again, there are some good, there are some evil. We think that it's a problem with kids being disruptive and this, that, and the third. It's bigger than that. Some of these kids come from dysfunctional homes, just like some of these teachers got jobs, J-O-B. They get paid for a job, and they could care less what's actually going on in the school outside their job. Yeah. But there are some that do care. There are some that have a heart for what they do, and I tip my hat off to them, and I'm sorry that they're not able to speak like they should be able to speak.
I'm going to say something to that, because first of all, I work in healthcare and social services, and those two jobs right there in teaching, they are the lowest paid jobs. You have to have a heart. You cannot show up in those schools for a check and just be there, because they don't pay you enough for that. So somewhere deep down inside, doing those three things, you have to care, because if not, there ain't nowhere in the hell you can.
Monique, don't everybody care? Don't everybody care? There are some people
they're not there for a check because they ain't getting paid shit.
Monique,
they're not there for
I don't care whether they getting paid a little or they getting paid a lot. That's the job they have. And I know this because I talk to you. You are in healthcare. You have a heart for what you do. But Monique, it ain't everybody that got a heart to do what they do. That's why some people, parents, are not taken care of. That's why some people fall, slip down on their damn head. Their head can be bleeding out and won't nobody even know their head bleeding out until somebody that come along and care and say, what happened to your head? What happened to you? And actually listen. There are teachers right now. You are in a classroom with some children that are
about black people, and I'm attacking all black people.
There are teachers that can care less. They got that old messed up job, so that they say they're not getting paid enough, and all they want is they check so they can take care of their families. But then there are some teachers that go above and beyond the call of duty because they care.
But
they come early, they stay late. They call the kids on the weekend.
Like we kind of getting down on these teachers.
No, we're not.
I know a lot
I'm not getting down on no teachers. That's for people who don't understand what we're saying.
No, I'm saying that that's true, but it's only like 20% of those kind of people in that school. It's bad people everywhere. It's not a majority of them.
One bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. So what I'm saying is that all I'm saying is that those people who understand what's going on, it's time for us to speak up, and it's time for us to be a part of the solution. Because if you see something that's going on and you don't say nothing, let's say you got a coworker and you know damn well all them coworkers ain't got the same heart you got. I know your heart, Monique. I know what type of work you do. I know how you go above and beyond. There's some folks that ain't getting ready to do that, and you know they ain't. They could care less. They're not going to do what you do. But then you'll see somebody that's mistreated somebody, and you're looking like, why in the hell didn't you listen to that lady who told you that she was bleeding, and you told her to just be quiet, and she told you she was bleeding, and you didn't even look to see. Do you know she almost died?
I know one thing, though. Sometimes, too, some conversations we can't have around children, because I'm going to tell you something. Some kids will take some stuff you saying out of context, and they'll take their ass to school and get beat up by a teacher.
No, well, I tell you what, parents, if you letting your children watch this video, make sure you explain to them, because guess what? Mines ain't gonna take it out of context. They understand.
Ain't gonna get it. These dumbass adults don't even get it.
That's what I'm saying. They are taking it out. They will.
They will, because you're right. Adults don't get it either.
Yeah, everything's on social media. Everything's social medialized, and it's always out there and exposed. And the thing of it is, parents don't really understand what's really going on.
Again, You guys, we thank you so much for joining us. We can't make this stuff up. And for those people who didn't understand the broadcast, go back and listen to it again. We're not attacking your children. We're not attacking children. We're not attacking the government. Only thing that we're saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you're not doing anything, then guess what? Don't sit back and point the finger at us because we got all our fingers pointing right back at us. It's the cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live many a times. And we here letting the cat out the bag.